Dre. Okay, y'all ready for this conversation today? We ready? Okay, that was, if you guys are tuning in to AR Radio Shy, if you guys are tuning in to ARRadioshy.com. Yep, yeah, I hear myself. Okay. Hey, you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hey, Takenya. Hey, Nima, Andretti, Radia. Woo, okay. We're just going to get into it. I wasn't going to just yet, but you guys are ready for this topic. And so,
15 minutes.
So let's go. So I asked the question yesterday on social media, romance versus sex. What's more important in a relationship? So come on with it, people. Come on with it. I'm going to start. Let me go with me first, okay?
I was going to say, you always have to go first.
Okay, let me go with me first. For me, romance 100% hands down is more important to me. And I would tell, and I'm gonna tell you, and then I asked my fiance as well, Scott. So we had this conversation last night. Now he got a little. I was like, whoa, okay. Okay, I want to quote him correctly. So what he said was that sex without romance is almost like prostitution. That was his. Now that was the second thing he said. I'm not going to tell you the first thing he said. So for him, romance. He said romance. Sex comes from romance. So, you got to get in there. And for me, when we talk about romance, for me, it's that person connecting on an emotional and a spiritual level. So much so that I want, that next level will be that physical, that physical connection for me. But I need the emotional. I need that foundation before we're talking about the physical aspect in any way, shape, or form. Takenya said she is team romance. So yes, I think a lot of women are team romance.
Right. So I said the same thing. I said I'm team romance because when you're romancing somebody, you're trying to get them. When somebody feels that overwhelming urge of love and care, that pushes you to that option of taking it to the next level. I always say romance is romance, and that leads to sex. But sex in any relationship should be a bonus. That shouldn't be at the forefront.
Right, but let's identify romance. What is romance to you? What is romance to you? What does that look like to you?
Somebody sweeping off your feet. They come with you. They have flowers. They take you out to dinner. Even if you just walk near the river at nighttime. Okay. It's just stuff like that.
But okay, so here Nima popped in. Nima said romance is awesome. There are so many layers. The connection is beautiful, but if just a jump off take care of my, wait, hold up, Nima. I'm reading right. That connection is beautiful, but if just a jump off, take care of my body and beat it. Okay, Nima, clarify what you're saying. I think she's saying
ain't no hit it and ski and leave.
If it's just, that's what she's saying. If it's not a what?
It ain't a hit it and quit it.
But so how come that's why I think women get confused and they get in so many different bad situations is because they mistake sex for romance. So that's why I said it's really important to me to identify what romance is to each person individually.
Here's the thing. Analysis. Some women, they think when they get with this person and this person's like, let's go out to dinner and then we can go back to my place. Sometimes I think they confuse that with maybe it's the relationship is more of a commitment than they think.
And see that I think that's kind of what my fiance came when he said that to him it can almost be like he went way out there with that one, but
when
he said it could almost be like somebody's paying for something. So it's almost as like if a man has said, well, I did this for you, I took you out to dinner, or I bought you this, so now you got to give it up. You got to give it up to me. Does some women consider that as being romance? Because that is definitely not romance.
That is not
romance at all.
In the slightest.
To me, romance.
You saying I do that? The thing is, when you get anybody, now if you want to do stuff like that, but that's more of a commitment level. But when you're just
let's go. You say you're 2 dates in. Let's say you're 2 dates in, and some people are saying now, well, by that third date, they should be giving it up. So who set that standard and said that by the third date you should become intimate? So what would you say after we're on date number 2?
Are they trying to consider that like the 90-day rule? Cause I'm like, that sounds like what y'all doing, going out once a month. And that's how you get to the third date.
Right, because if you're going to go by the 90-day rule, then that would be us seeing each other like every day, pretty
Right.
much for like 90 days.
Right.
That's just not gonna be like what we see you. I see you once a month for the next 3 months, and you gonna consider that 90 days? That's not 90 days.
That's why I was like,
Yeah, that's not 90 days. So for me, I wasn't really clear on what romance is for me. Romance is for me is that, yeah, I like all the, if you bring me the flowers and all that is great. But it's, to me, that's human connection. That like we connect on another whole level that I've never connected on before. That's you, right? That's you romancing my spirit. The pretty much the person that I am, who I am. You're learning the essence of who I am. That's romance for me. When you touch that part of me, you pretty much got me.
well, basically,
But-
they touch your soul.
Right. I said, right, the essence of, right, when you touch my spirit, my soul, then that's romantic for me. Then if you want to bring me the flowers and give me the candy or wine and dine me, all that's great too.
I mean, I just like when, and I have to be somebody, but when you just like, you're walking like across the water and like somebody grab you and you got like the moon behind you, you kind of,
Yeah, that's romance in it for you. I get what you're saying, but for me,
but even when I can have a conversation with you and we can just talk for hours.
that's the most romantic thing in the
And
world.
when we can talk for hours and it's not
Yep.
like you just trying to get my number.
Nima said, let me read what Nima says. I love romance, but I have had hookups where I saw him and he looked good and I looked good and I was only looking to take care of my sexual needs at that moment. We ended up married for 12 years. Okay, Nima. Okay. that was not a hookup, Nima. Well, she said romance was there.
Well,
She said romance was there.
let's just cut. That was a long-term hookup.
So that was an extended hookup.
Right.
That was an extended hookup.
That wasn't just over at 9 a.m. the next morning.
But it must have been something about him that they touched each other, where they wanted to, be married and stay together for 12 years. So there was some romance definitely there.
There was some.
Yeah. I just want people to stop confusing sex with romance, and especially for women.
And no, this is the thing that gets me. They go out with a man,
Yep.
they have sex, and like, oh my God, this is something I never experienced before. I think I'm in love with him. Girl, all he did was just suck you the right way.
Oh my God, Brianna, Nick was so crazy. She said 12 years a slave because he locked me down. Oh my God, Nick was. Oh my God. Oh, so.
I'm just saying, that's where people get the sex and the romance confused, because they're like, we went to dinner and went back to his place, and then we did do it, and it was just like, I just connected with him on this level. No, that was body fluids exchanging.
That was just.
No, that was a good D, as they say.
And we heard from the male, and said, okay, so explain to women. I want women to understand.
He ain't lying though.
Yeah, but women, why do you come in and say, oh my God, it was the most romantic thing I've ever experienced? That, like you said, that was not romance. Because somebody
like
take you out to dinner and then take you back to this place and then do you real good.
Look.
That is not romance.
That means the women never had that experience. So they got taken out to dinner. That's probably the first time they got taken out to dinner. They never had that experience.
But I think what confuses some women is that, because men have been saying a lot. Well, if I'm spending my money on you, then I'm going to expect you to expect something from that. And then some women fall into that trap and think that they should. I would never fall into that trap because I respect my body too much for that.
I'm gonna say this: there's just certain ground rules for a first date.
Yep.
When like they said, well, he's picking me up. No, I'll meet you at the restaurant.
Okay.
Because
Don't you know where I live? Okay.
Right, because I don't want you to feel obligated to like, oh, we can go back to my place and I don't have no way to get home. Think about when
Well, how do you never have a way to get home if you go back to this place?
you don't have no car. Think about if you say he picks you up.
Yeah, but I mean, there's always cabs, Uber. So even if the date is going bad, I can just give me a ride home.
I just feel like I'll meet you at the restaurant. I mean, there's just certain outs you should have.
Okay, so keep on to your number 2.
I mean, that's you drive me at the restaurant. Number 2, like you don't. Sometimes conversation can lead into that direction of sex.
I'm gonna tell you this. If you have a good conversation can make you feel all heated and sexual. You know, it is. But
I ain't talking about that conversation. I'm
not talking about sexual conversation. I'm talking about stimulating my mind.
No,
you gotta stimulate my mind before my body gets stimulated.
I'm not
anyway.
saying, but you might not get stimulating conversation. You might get the sexual conversation. That's what I'm saying.
And you know what turns me off the most is when you meet a guy and the first thing they want to start talking to you is start talking sexual to you. To start talking sexual to me. Hold it. We done conversating, because that's not the first thing you're gonna meet me and then start saying, well, baby, how long are you gonna make me wait? How do you like it? What you want me to do? We are done. We are done with the conversation, because you tell me right off the bat all you're interested in is getting in my pants. So I'm done with that conversation.
Dun.
Right. So therefore, I'm telling you, men, what turns a woman on is you got to get here. You get into a woman's mind, and it's the same thing. I think for some men, because this what makes men stop and think. When a woman is actually asking questions, making the man stop and think, or even changing his whole thought process at the moment. Because he might just come in with like, you know what? Okay, she cute. I might want to hit it and quit it. But then when they start, conversing, and his whole mindset has changed, then he might like, well, this might be somebody that I want to, talk to a little longer. So I just want women to stop confusing. See, women, when you stop confusing sex and romance, that's when you stop having all these 4 and 5 kids and 5 baby daddies and all this other stuff, because you have mistaken. You thought because the man is calling you up every now and then, you all are what's in the phrase y'all say, hitting it, kicking it? What is it?
Netflix and chill. Well, it used to be Netflix and
okay, but just because you all are hooking up does not mean it's romance. Does not mean it is a relationship. It does not mean does not mean any of that. What I don't get is that why, as a woman, do some women not respect themselves and respect their bodies enough to say, you know what, this is just a physical aspect. I want more. Brianna, answer the question.
What?
Answer the question. Why is it so many young women are saying that they are mistaking relationships, sex for a relationship or sex for romance?
Because some of it goes back to your household, depending on what you saw growing up. So you may not have seen romance in your household.
Uh-huh.
You may have just seen where it was just a sexual thing. So you think when you go out and you start dating, that sex leads to the romance. Where it's the opposite, that romance should lead to sex. Sex should be a bonus of putting in the romantic efforts to get that.
Absolutely. And here, let me read what Nima just said. What turns her on is a man that can pray soulful and heartfelt, and when he knows his Bible. Nima, I'm going to agree with you, right? Yeah. Honey, she said, he grabs your hand while praying and puts your name in his prayer. She said, amen, amen. Nima, I love that. But you know what? That is so true, because when a man talks to you about the Bible, talk about going to church, talking about because me and my fiance had that conversation this morning too. Because churches haven't been open or whatever, and I was talking to him about. He was telling me something about his dream, and I was talking to him about. I just had prayer this morning, and I talked and what he talked about. As far as the Bible, and what I was talking about was very similar, and we thought that was like very interesting. So I love it when we connect on that level as well, because that means that you've been paying attention to me all these months. That you know what my priorities are, and we're kind of like we're on the same page. So I love connecting with that. This is a great conversation, and we gotta take a break, right?
Yes.
And we're gonna come right back. So Nima, come right back. I don't know how to put Facebook on pause when I'm live. I don't know how to do it. So I'm gonna have to go off, and then I'm gonna come back on. And Nima, you just like and share this video, and then come back on. Brandon, who we got coming up musically wise?